So also I know we're already over time just a little bit, but I wanted to ask you about the Samui purchase because that's huge.
It's pretty exciting. It certainly is. What Nigel and his family, Nigel Mills, who's originally from California, I think he has some history in like graphic art design work with like original Tony Hawk skateboard
Oh dang! Oh
games,
wow!
and like he's got some old school connections and skills there. And at some point he moved on to Samui and then started developing disc golf there. Luke Butch, who's from the US originally as well, Luke kind of became his right hand man in some ways, and they developed this beautiful course and property. And Nigel and his family were ready to move from the island into the mainland of Chiang Mai, where disc golf is continuing to blossom and grow right now as well. And he couldn't take it with him, so to speak. I mean, literally moving off of the island, and it wasn't really practical because he didn't have land or land rental anywhere else. And it was kind of in flux. It was a little bit in limbo as to what was going to happen with it. And that was my opportunity to step in and just basically assure that business operated as usual. And that's kind of where I step in, and that's what I did. And I can't own land. They don't let non-Thai, non-native Thais own land there, which I think is great. Otherwise, it would all been bought up, 100 years ago and commercialized. And so, everything just kind of keeps moving forward, and we're just trying to continue to develop the scene and make sure that it's still an opportunity for people to come play, and then host a couple of tournaments a year there, and then continue to hopefully make it a this vacation destination that people want to check out.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the community look like there in terms of like numbers, and like
it's and that's exactly what we're trying to change. Is it's largely expats, it's largely people from all over the world that found disc golf or know about it and then found it there and are ecstatic about it. So there's a lot of Germans and Swedes and a lot of people from around the country or around the world that have moved there that partake, and the actual native Thai contingency is relatively low. But we're getting discs and donations, and Luke is helping orchestrate taking these right to the schools right there on the island to then do demos and clinics. And we have a bunch of incentives that if you're local to the area, you actually get to come play for free or at a discounted rate. And there's discs that you can check out or that you can just use. So we really are trying to help grow the culture in any possible way. And as funny as this may sound, the number one challenge over there is just getting discs onto the island, because they have these incredible tariffs and customs and all this other stuff. So sometimes it's completely impractical to get discs onto the actual island at a reasonable price. So that's where we have to really rely on people that are thinking about going over there to say, hey, can we send you 20 extra beat up discs or 50 extra discs we've collected? Can we even pay you something just to get them in your luggage so that you could then bring them in, and then they'll be dispersed or sold or given away once they get to the island. But getting discs in the hands of players is, believe it or not, one of our biggest obstacles. But a lot of people saw View Giorgio a few years ago. She's a previous Muay Thai champion fighter. Okay. And so I don't mess with her. But she is really good.
With you.
Yeah, she's sponsored by Prodigy. Was sponsored by Prodigy for a couple of years, and she was taking it really serious. She's backed off a little bit, but I think she got into like the 930s or 940s maybe for her rating. Like, she was one of the best players on the island, men or women. Yeah. And so it'd be great to see her and a few others play. There's another guy named Pichette who I met last year, and he's the lefty 50-year-old version of Paul Macbeth, which I know sounds like a funny qualifier, but like he looks a lot like Paul's like kind of stance and throw, especially his putt. And then he's left-handed, and he's like 50 something, but maybe he looks like he's 20 something. Like, and he's building baskets, and he's this incredible engineer. And I think he got up to being like 970 or 980, 990 rated, and was the highest rated Thai competitor at the time. And damn, if we just keep those stories rolling and keep more and more of those happening, I feel like I'm playing my part at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of what grows, it's all about awareness, and having hometown heroes helps that a lot. I mean, you see that with like Kristen Tatar, like the entirety of Estonia is like has her back, and you don't see that at all with disc golf anywhere else. Which is, when you have such a small community like that, I feel like you almost need like a hometown hero, like that 990 guy that comes over to the States and places top 20, and then he goes home and gets a party,
Yeah.
So
someone like Manabu Kajiyama, kind of fit that bill out of Japan many years ago, and he's still revered as obviously this incredible player. But you're right, having that beacon of something to aspire to, or to have as a role model. And then both of those people, Kristen and Manabu, just incredible humans on top of it. And I think you're right, having those are great, and seeing people rally around them helps everybody.